His youngest son, Ron Reagan, joins me now. He's also the MSNBC political analyst. Ron, thanks for joining me. You know, that is always such an awkward question. You're speaking for someone who is not present, and we all evolve in different ways. But Michael Reagan says that your father would not vote for Trump. I want to read his tweet, your older brother. He says, "I will not be voting for Trump tomorrow in California primary. This most likely would be the first time, if my father was alive, that he would not support the nominee of the GOP." He tagged Reince Priebus on this and Newsmax as well. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think he's right. Ronald Reagan would not vote for Donald Trump, and frankly, it's shameful that so many Republican politicians, recently Paul Ryan, of course, have gotten on the Trump bandwagon. This is an absurdity of a campaign that Trump is running here. We shouldn't fool ourselves here, and we shouldn't fall into the trap of a false equivalency that somehow Trump and Clinton are playing on the same playing field or at the same level. They are not. This is a joke, and it's an absurdity, and it would be an embarrassment and a tragedy for this country if Donald Trump were somehow to be elected president. And it's the shame of the Republican Party right now that he is their presumptive nominee.
Well, Ron, it's interesting. Congressman Jason Chaffetz, the latest today, calling Trump's comments misinformed, but like so many others, they are not calling him a racist. I think some people understand that as you can never speak for someone's heart. But nevertheless, it was Lindsey Graham who said today that Trump is, though, playing the racist card. So whether you label him racist, prejudice, whatever you choose to, he has, for whatever reason, on many occasions, misinformed his followers by calling this judge Mexican, by saying that this judge who was born in Indiana somehow cannot fairly look at this case, providing some type of ethnic litmus test. How do Republicans continue to dance around this when by all of these reports, Donald Trump is not backing down, and by his own words?
Well, they shouldn't be playing around with this. This is clearly bigotry. Whether Donald Trump is a bigot himself or not, as you said, I don't know. I don't know what's in the man's heart. But it's quite obvious that he's pandering to bigotry. And to condone that as a politician, Republican or Democrat, to condone that is shameful. And these people ought to be ashamed of themselves for getting onto this bandwagon. It's awful. And as I said, it's an embarrassment to the Republican Party, which is revealing itself as really not a serious political institution anymore.
How long do you think before we hear a Republican leader reverse their endorsement if this continues?
Well, if it continues, it may reach a point where they have no choice, where they're simply backed into a corner. But he's been pretty awful so far, and that doesn't seem to have stopped Republican leaders from supporting him.
Well, that's interesting you say that. Jonathan Capehart posted an article essentially saying that, and I think the headline was something around the effect of, well, now y'all are surprised, or now y'all are offended, and forgive me for not quoting it, but the essence of it was that this campaign has followed this train all along, and the fact that we're at this particular stop when it's been on the map all along, how is it a surprise? And I use the train analogy because of the Trump train that they call it.
Yeah, yes, it's not a surprise.